What's up, y'all? I don't see you. We'll let some of y'all get on, and then we'll start the show. We'll head over to YouTube, make sure it's going live. Put it in the comments if you're here, guys. We already got a few people jumping on.
Yeah.
Caden, it's me.
Yeah. That's live. So
there we go.
Should be good.
What's up, y'all? My name's Ethan Jett. I am with Jett's Fishing Adventures, and my buddy here.
I'm Mitch from Mr. Fishing Ohio, or MR Fishing Ohio, which are also my initials. So that's kind of how I came up with the name.
Sweet. I'm from Tennessee. Mitch is from Ohio. Right now he's all iced in. So that's one reason we kind of started this podcast, wanted to start the podcast to kind of fill in his gap of content. Us here in Tennessee, we can fish all the time. So
yeah, I'm pretty jealous of that. You guys had ice for just like a few days or what?
Yes, we had a really bad ice storm last week or 2 weeks ago. We had a lot of damage, but now it's 70 degrees today. So that makes a big difference. Went from single digits to now we're getting a lot of people on. Mark Davis, that's my good buddy. He's an Alabama hammer. Y'all comment.
Yes, I've seen stand-ins quite a few times.
Yeah. Y'all make sure you can hear us.
I should pull it up so I can see the comments too.
You can actually, should be able to see the chat on your right here.
Oh.
In the restream.
Yeah, I didn't even do that.
We're all noobs to this live stream format, so bear with us.
I've only ever done it on my cell phone.
Oh. So this video we're going to talk about is to get to know your host. A lot of my audience don't know Mr. Fishing Ohio, and Mr. Fishing Ohio's audience don't know me. So we're kind of blending this episode into get to know your host. And then the future plans is to talk about kayak fishing, to talk about social media growth in the bass fishing world, and just stuff that you, the audience, want to watch and listen. So if you have any questions, comment below. I see some of my mom's students in the comment section here. They watch my videos.
There's probably a good chance some of my former students make their way on too, because I'd say probably 100 to 200 of my subscribers are kids that I've had in my class in the past. So there's usually a couple of them if I do a live or like in some of my videos. I had taught middle school for 6 years, so it was part of the reason why I actually started getting into making content was with like a stupid channel I made that was not fishing related. And then I started watching people that made fishing content. I'm like, I think I'm going to do that. It seems like fun. So it was actually really my students that got me even to want to make content as it is. So it's kind of interesting.
That's awesome. That's what I was actually going to ask you, what you did for a living.
Yeah, so I was a teacher for quite a few years. And then I got my master's in administration. And the last 2 years, I've been in charge of the billing and like finance. So just like certainly what I thought I would be doing, but maintenance and upkeeping.
We're losing you a little bit. You kind of froze up just a hair. but we can hear you now.
You hear me now?
Yeah, we
Okay.
heard business administration.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's they're just like in charge of the building and all the stuff that goes with it, pretty much.
Okay, that's awesome. I got a very,
Yeah.
a lot of people know I don't technically have a full-time job. Facebook, YouTube, and fishing is kind of my full-time job. So I'm living the dream. I'm trying to every day. It's been fun, but it does take a lot of time, a lot of determination to get out there. And I love that we got a lot of younger folks watching. Just keep, never give up. I've always been a big Mike Iaconelli fan.
Yeah.
He talks about never give up, and just so remember that if you have a dream, y'all, never give up on your dream. One of the guys is Miss Jett at your house. No, sadly, she is not. We might have to get her on here in a little while if she ever comes here. Now we got Steven coming on. He watches a lot of my stuff. Oh, he's saying you're setting left of center, but you got it corrected. I've noticed.
Yeah. I it's because of my normally I set my videos up where I'm faced the other way so you can see my desk that has all my fishing stuff, but I have nowhere to set a computer, so I've got to slightly rearrange the room. But you can see my 30 fishing rods behind me.
Hey, that's all they want. They want to see big trophies or fishing rods. So.
Yeah, well, I got a couple medals, but last year was a good year for me tournament wise. First really good year I had, but
so
wasn't always that way.
Tell the audience what trails do you fish and what you fish out of?
Yeah, so I actually helped run a local trail up by me called Toledo Area Kayak Anglers League, or Tackle, not spelled correctly. And we're a local non-powered league, so no motors. And part of the reason we did that was to give us a little different draw appeal to people, more like entry-level stuff. And it's grown. It's doubled in size each year. We started with like 12. And last year we were over 30 total people that entered tournaments, and we had a few events and close to 20 anglers, which it's just like I said, a local league. So it's been pretty cool. And I will say, despite its small size, we have some of the best anglers in the state in our league, guys that have qualified for state championships, the Bassmaster Kayak Championship, and the guy that won AOY the last 2 years, who's just an absolute stick, Aaron Stahlbaum. If you ever fish a tournament against him, just give him your money in advance. Chances are he's going to get it. But it's really fun. I also have fished our state level events on occasion, but the schedule for them doesn't always line up. And usually once a year I like to do a trip. Last year I went down to Chickamauga for the native tournament, and this year I'm going to Guntersville for the native tournament. So that's about all I do tournament wise.
Yeah, you're speaking my love language with Guntersville, as everybody knows. So I live, if you don't know, I live in Marshall County, which is about 2 hours northwest of Guntersville, and I go all the time down there. It's some of the best fishing, in my opinion. You can catch some giants down there, and you can catch them all year long. The Bassmaster Elite Series was down there this weekend.
Yep.
And
I was watching that intently.
Yeah, I actually got it pulled up here on my phone. I'm trying to see. Hank Cherry won it, and he actually won it with a combined total of 88 pounds. And yes, won. 88 ounces.
I cannot believe he's throwing a twister tail. This is just wild to me.
Yeah. Now I guarantee you, every twister tail in the country is sold out.
Funny enough, that's my all-time lure for walleye. I've caught more fish on that exact lure he was throwing than any other thing, by a wide margin. So I was just cracking up. I've never tried to throw it for bass, but Now I'm
Yeah.
curious.
I guarantee you, everybody else is throwing it now. Um, that's the
Yeah.
only bad thing about the Elite Series tournaments is
Hmm.
they go to some place and they catch a bunch of fish on a very specific bait, and
Yep.
then it's just sold out. You know, last year the Classic was won on that Morning Dawn chatterbait by Z-Man, and you couldn't find one after he won.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I just actually bought a few at the Alabama Fishing Expo the other weekend for I think it was $15 a pack. I bought 5. And my thinking is, hey, if they get hard to find, hit me up. I'll sell you to them.
Yeah. Well, that's like something I don't worry about too much is I don't necessarily a lot of the trends watch him. They'll probably know that I'm very versatile with lures. I throw a spinnerbait, and sometimes when that's not working, the months of May to September, it's rare one leaves my hand. But so many of the lures that I like to think I'll ever worry about running out of them. But that's what I was going to ask you. If you like, one thing I'd like to talk about a ton is gear, and what would be if you had to choose your single favorite lure, down to the exact brand, color, weight, all that. If you had to just pick one, and I'll share mine.
So mine, is no surprise. I'm down here in the south where we fish a lot of grass, and this bait is going to be more of a year-long bait. It's not my absolute funnest, if you will, bait,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the best bait to throw to catch fish all year long, and that's a chatterbait. The Z-Man jackhammer, you can't beat them. If you try to find, I have the Backdraft lure. He has a great chatterbait, but
Yeah.
it's just hard. It's hard to find something that can outfish a jackhammer, in my opinion. It's just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it continues catching fish after thousands and thousands of people throw it every day. But the jackhammer in the Brett, the height color is my all-time favorite.
Okay. For me, it's easy for me to pick a spinnerbait. Color, it's harder for me to pick because I've used so many color variations over the years. But from sheer numbers of fish, and then I'll say from sheer like good quality fish, I could narrow it down to 2. And the first one would be I don't have the exact one with me. This is an older one. Just a like bait fish color
Yeah.
with a willow leaf. I designed some lures for a blind squirrel, and my bait fish spinner bait that's got my name on it. That's one I won a few tournaments on last year, and then the other one that I just is my all-time favorite, probably overall, just for fun fishing and everything, would be a green pumpkin spinner bait. But specifically, this is the thing that makes it different. Is a turtle shell blade. And I buy these blades in bulk because the company I used to buy them from went out of business. And so what I do now is when I design the spinnerbait, I'll design it with like a Colorado blade in mind. And I just have a bunch of these turtle blades. I'll pop one of these on. Depending on the color water, I'll do a silver or gold. And I've caught so many bass on that. It's just stupid. But it's something about that blade. It just, people don't throw it very much. And I think that's why I get bit. I've caught fish in 5 different states on that exact lure and Canada. So it's just good.
Yeah. So that is going to be the cool thing about this podcast, in my opinion, is the difference in where we live. Like far as fishing, like you can fish. You got a lot more bigger smallmouth. Go up there in Canada. but it's really cool to see the difference in what it will be cool to see the difference in how we fish.
Yeah, there'll be some similarities because the place I fish the most, fish is um, like a grass lake down south. It's really the only place like it in Ohio that's like that. Uh, it's one of the bays on Lake Erie.
Okay.
Uh, so it's Put-in Bay. A lot of people know it's a popular vacation spot, but the peninsula you go to get to it has two harbors, and they're basically just a giant grass flat. And in the spring, I mean, if I would put it up against any spot in the country for numbers of bass, probably not as good a quality as some other places, but your average fish is a pound to 2 pounds. And I was at a tournament there last year. There was four of us in one spot, and if we didn't catch over 200 bass between the four of us, I'd be surprised.
Wow.
In the 5 hours. And at certain times of year, it's just like that because in Lake Erie, there's only so many places those largemouth will spawn, and that's one of them because it's a great big lake, but there's not a lot of places that are great spawning ground for largemouth just because of how Lake Erie is. Just because it's most of the fish that are shallow water fish, they don't spawn out in the main lake, and they will go into the docks and the bays, and there's only a couple of them, really. If you go look at like just a map of Lake Erie, at least in the American side, there's more structure in the Canada side for sure, but the American side, half of it's just giant beach, so
Wow.
not a lot of places for them to go.
Yeah. That's crazy. I've never done a lot of map study on Erie and stuff. I have just heard in the news that is like 10 or is 90% of the lake frozen over.
96%. Now that's going to come down. We got 7 days in a row that's going to be above freezing, so those cracks will start to form. It wasn't frozen very long. It's a while for it to get there, and then it's warming right up. Last year, I think we had a longer period where it was frozen, but we didn't. I don't think we got up to 96%.
Wow,
pretty nuts.
That's crazy. That is nuts. Tennessee Yak guy, he said the textured blades are legit.
Yep, I have those in not just the willow, but on the turtle blade too. I swear by those. That's probably what I use 95% of the time. They just give a little different something to it.
So here's a little shout out. He just commented, and then Tennessee Yak Girl just commented, "Hey, what's up?" They are husband and wife.
Okay, I was going to say it better be some kind of connection.
If we say something, they might get in an argument in the comment section. So just be on the lookout. My 3-year anniversary feed, they started talking back and forth to each other, and it was hilarious.
That's great.
But anyway, a spinnerbait here, it's kind of a dying bait, in my opinion, around here. You still a lot of people fishing, but a lot of people are going to the jackhammer or that blade bait kind of style. A ton of people. You see a lot more people fishing a chatterbait.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Is that the same up north as well?
Oh yeah. I mean, people like to joke that I'm like the only person that throws a spinnerbait, and they watch me throw one, and they still don't always use it. Like when I show up to the awards, and Jack, the Ripper who just commented, can attest to this. When I show up to awards, they'll be like, "Oh, what you catch them on a spinnerbait?" And when I say I didn't catch them on a spinnerbait, it's a shock. But I'd say the jackhammer or chatterbait is 10 times more popular in our area as well. I throw one. I just don't throw it as much. Yeah. I have two that I like. I don't think I have either of them with me. One I designed that's a white and chartreuse color. And then the other one I really like is actually the Berkeley Slobberknocker. It's like a black and blue one. I've not really found one that looks like it. I actually just designed a version of it for a blind squirrel, the same color pattern, just because I don't see it ever. It's like this purple, blue, and black, and that's why I was really catching them at Chickamauga last year. Yeah. It was my biggest kayak bass in a few years, and that color is just really good.
Yeah, that purple color is kind of a hidden gem, in my
Hmm.
opinion. You don't see a lot of people throw them,
No.
and it's a really good nighttime bait.
Oh, for sure. It's muddy water or really early in the morning. It's what I'll throw for the first 20 minutes. In any tournament, I'm throwing a bladed jig or a
You know.
spinner bait for
Now,
sure.
now here's another question, far as the difference in South and North. Do y'all
Hmm.
have a lot of nighttime tournaments during the summer?
Uh, we do evening tournaments. So, like for my league, we do the Wednesday nights. So from 5 to 9 o'clock is usually when we do it.
Yeah,
Um, but I wouldn't say at night. That's not saying night fishing can't be productive.
yeah,
There's some times where I've been on the water in pitch black darkness, and I've just been ripping the fish.
yeah,
At like 4 a.m., you can just lay into them.
yeah. Well, here we do a lot of nighttime fishing because it's so hot
Oh,
during the
sure.
summer. It gets 102, 103 degrees with the
Yeah.
index. And the only time you really can catch them is that early morning bite,
Hmm.
late afternoon, into the night. So I didn't
Yeah.
know if y'all really did that up north.
Yeah, we do a lot of the like I said, we do the Wednesday nighters. That's about half of our tournaments, and then the other half we do early mornings on Saturday or Sunday. And
Yeah,
um, we don't do a lot of the till 3 o'clock stuff because for us in the summer, uh, being on the water at 3 o'clock in the afternoon is beyond miserable because the fish aren't biting and the humidity can get really high. Despite like people don't think of Ohio as a place that's humid, but we
mm-hmm.
do have pretty high humidity based on how far north we are.
Mm.
We get it all. We get we can have 100 degrees and -5 degrees 4 months apart. It's just
Wow.
we have all the variety. We just don't have anything too long, so that's
Yeah.
what makes it kind of hard to predict.
That sounds just like Tennessee. My preacher always says, if you don't like the weather, stick around.
Yeah, well, and so I'd say your guys' is more like it'll switch on a dime.
Yeah.
I'd say Ohio's is more like each day can be a different season. That's
Oh
what.
wow.
So it's like it doesn't change too much during the day unless we have like a storm roll through. But
Yeah.
I mean, literally today I woke up, it was 3 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be in the 40s. So
Wow.
it just you don't see places that have those kind of temperature swings
No.
as much, but that's like regular for here.
Yeah, you can have all that. I'll take that
Yeah,
50
I,
to 60.
I bet you would.
Yeah. Steve said it just that the spinnerbait fouls so easily in the eelgrass.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. We have all three kinds of grass at the place I fish a lot, East Harbor. We have the three main kinds of grass, and the one thing reason I fish the spinnerbait so much is that the grass that gets stuck in doesn't grow up as high, and so I'm able to go over the top even when it's like completely gunked up.
Okay.
But some other places, yeah, I mean, it's um, a lot of it. I think too is the weather can impact that a lot too. When it's windy and you're fishing in grass like that, I mean, just forget it. It's you're not going to have any chance if it's too bad.
Yeah. That's kind of funny because here, when we fish grass, I like it a little bit of wind to be because that kind of pushes all the bait fish into the grass,
Yeah,
and you can sit there with a frog and stuff. And when the weather's right, and
yeah. It's funny because like Ohio, because it's so flat. When we have wind, it's
mm,
just terrible because there's no way to protect yourself. Like if we have wind over 18 degrees, 18 degrees, yeah, 18 miles per hour, um, you question whether you should go out or not
yeah,
because there'll be whitecaps on small bodies of water. Like
wow,
there's nothing protecting it because
yeah,
where I'm at in the state, there's no elevation, so it blows for miles and miles. I remember I was in Tennessee last year when we were doing the tournament. And one of the days was like a wind. I'd be skeptical to go out, and I looked out in the lake, and I'm like, "There's nothing."
yeah,
And because you just have so much more structure and elevation.
yeah, yeah. Chickamauga and all the Tennessee River, it's in a valley.
Yeah.
So the wind will come over. Now the bad thing about depending on what lake you're on. Chickamauga, Guntersville, you have a north and a south wind.
Oh
It gets
yeah.
really bad. Definitely, if it's going, the worst one's a south wind because the current's
Oh
coming
yeah.
north
North.
down, and that wind will push against the current, and ooh, it gets dangerous. Kentucky Lake is the exact opposite. It's
Oh yeah.
if you look on the map of Tennessee River, it goes down, then over,
Hmm.
and then back up. And it's just the terrain. And Kentucky Lake has swamped a lot of boats, and that's actually probably one of the lakes I've come closest to not making it back to the ramp.
Yeah, we had a. I don't know if my friend Jack's still in the chat, but we fished a tournament last year. It's one of my more viewed videos. Is a tournament I won. It started off, the weather was really calm, and then about halfway through it, a storm started rolling in, and a water spout actually formed about 3 miles south of where we were at. And we got blown off the lake, the river we were on. And I'm not kidding you. The people that got stuck on it, I think they took on about 10 pounds of water each. It was crazy. I was lucky I made it off, but I lost a piece of my kayak. It blew away in the wind.
Wow, I've been in some sketchy situations, but never in a spout.
Yeah, it was. We couldn't believe it. We saw it on the news later, and we're like, "Oh, glad we weren't there."
You know, just to give a shout out, Rory, right here with USA Kayak Fishing Magazine. He came in a big time just a little while ago. We had an issue with Mr. Fishing's camera. He came in and rescued this live stream. So y'all in the comments, give him a big clap. It was kind of weird. Steve actually mentioned that he was off to the left, and the reason why, he can't see himself. It's a blank screen on his screen.
Yeah.
You can hear it, so that's why he was way off. That's why he's like this. So thank you, Roy. Thank you very much. The Ripper has said, I was just dialing in the lunkers before it stormed.
Yeah, he caught the big fish for that tournament. I won despite not catching anything that big, just because I found them really early on. But last year, Jack caught some just absolute monster bass for our area. He caught the biggest fish anyone submitted in a tackle tournament early on in the year. I think it was a legit 6-pounder, and it was,
Wow.
I think, 22 inches long, which any fish over 21 in Ohio is an exceptional fish, and it's probably pretty old because our growing season just isn't as long, and it takes a long time for a bass to get that size up here. Especially our part of the state. It's not often you see one that size. They can get really fat, but they don't get as long a lot of times. Like, I've seen 7 or 8 pounders, and they weren't hardly longer than my personal best that was 3 pounds lighter. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Here in Tennessee, we have the fish here have a long growing season, but they don't like, you'll see we have a lot of good quality, but you won't see a ton over that 23, 24.
Yeah.
It really depends on where you go in the state. There's some, I won't mention the name, but Holly and Joe will know about the lake. There's a few lakes over towards their side of Tennessee that is pretty awesome this time of year, and you can catch some giants. And it's a very small TWRA lake. So I won't say nothing else so everybody's not running over there. But they can catch some giants. And Chickamauga, you see a lot of, like Guntersville, Chickamauga, Tennessee River, you see a lot of fish in that 20 to 22 range.
Yeah.
Or 19 to 22. And you'll see a few of those bigger 23s, 24s. But there's a lot of good quality fish.
Yeah. It's really funny that so my biggest bass I've caught from a kayak is at it's a small pond by Lake Erie, and people, if they've watched my channel, have seen videos of me fishing there. And I think 4 people that have caught a bass over 20 inches there. And I really can't say that about many places in Ohio.
Wow.
They're always really fat and healthy bass. And part of it is it is a pond that people like to put things in that maybe ought not be in there. And so I think they mostly get eaten by these big bass a lot of the times, because it's right next to a big hotel resort and right next to Lake Erie. So I think oftentimes things find themselves in there that shouldn't be. And I think last year somebody caught a walleye in there that was like 25 inches long, which
Wow.
had no reason being in that pond, but there it was.
Wow, that's crazy. So you're mention your PB again. What is it?
My PB from a kayak was 20 and a half. But overall, my biggest bass I've caught was actually from shore with a bladed jig when I was chaperoning a 6th grade camp. I just was fishing for a few minutes, and I threw it out at this. It was called Camp Machindo. It's like a kids camp up in Michigan. It was bitter cold, like 38 degrees,
Wow.
and I'm throwing this bladed jig, and I thought I snagged a muskrat because I had seen one, because it started peeling line. I'm like, oh no. And then it jumped, and I was just like, that's the biggest bass I've ever seen in person. And I landed it. It was 22 inches, and I didn't have a scale, but it was every bit of 6 pounds. I mean, it was just the fattest fish I've ever held. And I could tell that it was special. Of course, didn't get it on video. I have a video of me releasing it, but I didn't have a camera or anything. I wasn't expecting to catch anything worth having my GoPro on.
So I have a theory, and if anybody ever wants, you get out there and you're fishing and you're catching some good fish, and then you really think, man, I should start a YouTube channel. I can go and show all these big fat fish catches and stuff. As soon as you cut that camera on, whoop, won't catch a single thing. It took me, I think, the very first trip out with my GoPro and to start filming the video of Jett's fishing, I caught 1 fish. And then I went, I think, 3 trips without catching a single thing. And leading up to that, or that was at the beginning of the year of 2023. At the 2023. And then I started filming, and I actually ended up stopped filming some of my tournaments and ended up winning one. So it was like, come on. But if anybody's watching and they think they can catch some fish, start your YouTube channel and you will quickly realize, wait a minute, I can't catch fish.
Yeah, it's totally a similar thing to how when I started recording. But what I found out was actually beneficial for me to get up the confidence was, for a while, I just used the rear camera in tournaments because I stopped thinking about it. And that helped a great deal. Sometimes I use the front view, other times I use the rear view. But when I stopped thinking about it, then I started like catching fish, and I didn't worry about that at all. Jack wants to know what your PB on Gunnersville was.
So my PB on Gunnersville is, it's probably like, it's not really big. It's probably like 21. And it's probably around 7 pounds. I didn't measure it. I didn't weigh it. But I think it's like 21 and a half. Gunnersville, I've never caught a lot of, or like some really big fish. I've always caught 21s through 19s every time I go. So like I said before, it's a really good quality lake. At Gunnersville, you can go to win a tournament. You have to catch close to 100 inches.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing on a lot of results.
Yeah, one of my buddies, Tennessee, Holly and Joe, the Tennessee Yak people, Chuck Smith, if you're on, he was fishing with me in the Gunnersville Bass Nation. He caught 99 and I think half inches, and finished second.
Wow.
So that tells you, I think first place was 106 inches.
Boy.
Yeah. So,
I let's see. USA Kayak. What's your? I'm not sure who he's asking. Whose YouTube channel is what? But there's some. Maybe it's someone in the comments. But I think the only place in Ohio you can get limits like that. So I've talked about East Harbor a little bit earlier. If you go look at results for that, you typically need in the 90s, sometimes high 90s to place, because there was one tournament there. I think the top 12 all had above 88 inches. For Ohio, I mean, there's a lot of times where the person that wins won't even have 88 inches, but East Harbor, pretty typical for someone to win with 5 20-inch fish, because you won't catch many over 20, but you could easily catch 5. We do a 3-fish limit, and to give you some idea, last year our top 3 had I think 56, 55, and 54 for our 3-fish limit. So it was, and I caught my biggest fish I'd ever caught at East Harbor, and I got second.
wow.
And there's just not a lot of fish there that are over 20. The one I caught was 19 and a half, and it was a great fish. But most of the fish there, like I said, are that 15, 16 inch range. And I had to catch 50 fish to find that limit of 54 and a half. So, I mean, you catch a lot that just won't give you any upgrade. I've had several tournaments there. I've caught 40 fish, and they were clones. They all look the same. It's just like you catch the same fish over and over again. And if you get a couple over 17, then you're cooking. But you got to weed through the rats to get there.
That's crazy. I was actually trying to look on mine, the KBF 10 season closure.
Mm-hmm.
I caught, I got to look. I won't bore y'all for too long, but I ended up finishing like second place. And I had close to like 90 inches, 96, I think, over 2 days. Yeah. And it was the best 5 over 2 days. So that made a lot of difference.
Oh, yeah. That's totally different.
But it definitely, here, we do have a lot bigger fish than around where you're at. Holly caught just an absolute hog during that Gunnersville practice.
Yeah. 22
and 3/4.
That's a monster.
And then I don't think, did you catch a limit? I want to know if you caught a limit during the tournament. She was fishing that hooch cooch chatterbait or buzzbait. we all made fun of her. We're in the waterfront bait and tackle down in Gunnersville.
Mm-hmm.
And we found this buzzbait, and that's what the name of it was, hooch cooch.
I would have to assume it's something to do with the Chattahoochee, I would think.
I guess, but she bought it.
Sort of in the area.
Yeah, it has to. But she bought it, and we all told her if she won, she had to get up there in front of everybody, and it's live streamed.
Yeah,
it's live streamed to Facebook and say, "I won it on the hooch cooch."
That's how I always feel weird when I tell people. I won't even say I use a slobber knocker sometimes, because I'm just like, they're looking at me like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Weren't you fishing?" Like, that's like, but well, I guess lure wise, I know you pro staff for a couple different companies.
Yeah.
The one I've been on with for about a year and a half now, Blind Squirrel. They used to be from Ohio. They're now based out of Texas. I just wanted to give them a quick plug, because they're one of the coolest lure makers in the country, because you can make 100% customized lures, almost any color you could possibly think of. I think they calculated it would be impossible for you to make every combination that they could make. It's some ridiculous math thing, but anything you can think of, they will make it. And that's not just plastics, spinnerbaits, bladed jigs, Sinkos, paddle tails. I mean, every lure you could want for bass fishing or crappie fishing, they've been absolutely hammering the crappie with lures for sales. He was telling me how many he had to make the other weekend. It's just him and his wife for the most part that are making the lures. And he showed me one of the orders, and I was one guy had ordered, I think, several $100s worth of crappie plastics. And I'm like, they must work because nobody's buying that much if they're not working. But the thing I love about them is that you can, any color combination you can think of, you can make it. And that's what I've done with my spinner baits that I design, and especially my Syncos. That's probably been my second favorite lure lately, Texas rigged. Something I never really used. And last year I caught a lot of nice fish throwing that. Kind of weird colors too. I like kind of a purpley, blue, black, kind of weird combo. I just like throwing stuff not a lot of people using, because I think you throw something a little different, those fish, they check it out, because they're like, that doesn't look like the last 7 green pumpkins.
Oh, I think it's breaking up a little bit. You were doing good up until that point. Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay. Well,
there you are. Yeah. All right. You were breaking up a tad bit there, but. Oh, we might have lost a guy.
Yeah,
there he is.
I'm in my basement, so I might next time I might try upstairs. I don't really come out here.
It's back now. It was cutting up a little bit.
Let's see.
But you're good now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Mr. Mark oh.
Was another question I had for you was for tournaments this year, what's I guess what's your goal for tournaments this year?
I heard what's your goal in tournaments? Is that the only?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, yeah. So my goal every year is to catch a fish in every tournament. I know it's a very simple goal, but it can be some of the hardest. And definitely the KBFTN lakes that we fish. We fish Percy Priest and the lake that I absolutely cannot stand, Old Hickory. I call it Old Dinkery, and I also have another name that I won't say live. It's not very appropriate, but but that lake, Old Hickory, has ruined my goal every year, at least once. And I just can't. I don't know what it is about that lake, but my number one goal every year is to catch a limit or catch one fish. My second goal is to catch a limit every tournament. And really this year, I really want to focus on fishing, really finishing high in the AOI for Tennessee Bass Nation, which haven't started off very well. I missed the first tournament, so now I'm kind of behind the gun and up until the fourth or fifth event, and then people start canceling their lowest one. So hopefully that's my biggest goal.
Oh, sure.
Is to finish in the top 10, top 5 of AOI. Mm-hmm. I did it 2 years ago, and I haven't been able to do it since. I finished tied for 4th, I think. So Tennessee Bass Nation, if you're familiar with anybody that fishes that club, there's some of the biggest hammers in that club. Jordan Marshall, Russ Snyder, Adam Reiser. It's hard to beat. Do well.
Yeah,
Oh, we lost you again. Well, we're waiting. What's up, Kayak Jack? Marty Hughes, guys. He is one of the OGs. He's a great guy, a very good friend of mine. Took a bit to find you guys. I'm sorry. I try to hide.
That's for sure. I've seen Russ Snyder's name quite that. So, I don't know. It's must. I mean, I think.
We got a very big delay. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, is that here? It must.
I
It
guess
might be just my computers.
well, the
I'll
way I
join
see,
from. I'll just join from. I'll leave this and just join from my phone for the last couple minutes.
okay, yeah, yeah. All right,
Hopefully
I'll
that
invite
works.
you. Or I guess you can actually go back and join through that other the event link. You don't have
Yeah,
to
that's
have
what
a
I'll do.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take you out right quick. Was it Marty? We're gonna try to get you on. I was actually fixing to text you sometime, so we're definitely gonna get you on. And I also want to get Tennessee Yak guy and Tennessee Yak girl on too. While we wait for Mitch to join us back. Yep, Tennessee Yak guy. That Ethan Jett guy. I ain't a hammer. Y'all are definitely um, bumping me up. I do good every now and then, but I just get lucky. I'm so used to having my sunglasses. If you notice, I was just trying to adjust my sunglasses. But while we wait for him, the goal for this podcast is to last about an hour, maybe go a little longer if we're really talking, having a good conversation. But I hope y'all are enjoying it right now. Whenever he gets back, we'll keep asking some questions. Marty right here. Anytime it'd be hilarious to be on live while trying to teach. Yes, actually, a little heads up. I kind of want to. Oh, here we go. We got him back. Can we hear you?
Yeah. Hopefully this
There you go.
works out for a little bit.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Just wave and we'll see.
Everything.
Oh,
I'll just make sure the audio. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Steve has asked, am I doing KBF monthlies this year? I probably will not. I just don't fish the KBF events very much. I've fished like one or two. I don't have anything against them. There's so many tournaments happening nowadays. It's just, it's hard to have time to film and make good quality content and fish every tournament. Tournament videos are really fun, but sometimes if you're at a lake that you don't know, you're not going to catch a lot of fish, and that video is not going to be great, in my opinion.
I'll say this: if you want a surefire way to get views, all the best videos I've had have usually involved some sort of physical humor happening during the video. So the tournament video I have the most views on involved me falling in at the ramp in the first 30 seconds. And then my other video involved me snagging my ultralight in a tree. There was only one tree for like 300 yards, and I hit it, and I about lost my mind because I just retied. But it seems like anytime comedy's involved, your viewership goes up.
That's what people love to watch, comedy. And one of my better videos was when my best friend Rob, who actually the boat that I'm taking out tomorrow, he owns it, and he fell out of it while fishing. We were fishing a tournament, and it was cold. And I'm glad he was okay, but I got hung up. I got a square bill hung up, and we got close to the bank, and I got it unhung, and for some reason, it was so shallow he couldn't use the trolling motor. It was hitting the bottom. So he put his rod down and was going to push off the bank. And when he did, it slipped and he went right over. And I'll still to this day will post a clip every now and then of him falling out just to remind everybody. I'm bad about that too. If somebody messes up around me, you're in for a long time.
If I had to think of one, I mean, there's been so many. I have so many people in my family that are just total they like bring upon like things like that happening. If I had to pick one moment from my life fishing that I could go back to for like a humorous thing, I was doing a fishing charter in Florida, and we're out in the Gulf of Mexico, and I'm like younger. I think I was in middle school or maybe just started high school, and we're trying to drop our baits off the side of the boat, and these pelicans show up seemingly to me out of nowhere, and this pelican comes down and just takes my bait as I'm dropping it in the water. It takes off. My spool is open, and that thing it's gone. And I'm like, I'd never used a bait caster before. It was or conventional reel, and the line is just flying out, and the captain sees it. He was kind of a old salty dog kind of guy. He was a character. He grabs the rod, and I'm not kidding. He just yanked that rod back. He yanked that pelican out of the sky. I'd never seen anything like it. And he reaches down, he grabbed the pelican, opened its mouth, took the bait out, and chucked it off the boat. And I'll never forget, my grandpa was with me. He's like, "Aren't pelicans protected species?" And the captain just looked at him dead in the face and goes, "Not on this boat." And I don't think anyone spoke for about 5 minutes because we were trying to contain ourselves. He was clearly very annoyed about the situation, but it's not my fault. A pelican just came out and dive bombed my bait as I'm dropping it in the water. I'm like, how am I supposed to control that? But I'll never forget that one killed me. And that I could go on about that guy who we fished with a couple of times. He had a unique way of talking.
Old Mark Chase, Jordan is a hammer. He edged me out for the win last year for the USA Bassin Kayak Classic in Nickajack last year. If y'all not familiar with Nickajack, I love that lake. It's kind of a hidden gem between Chickamauga. It's Chickamauga, Nickajack, and Gunnersville. It's kind of a hidden gem.
It's smaller than either of those, right? It's skinny. Yeah.
It's kind of more of a river, real skinny kind of. It goes like between Chattanooga and down into Alabama, or right before Alabama state line. Steven, their championship is on Gunnersville this year. I might have to fish it just because Gunnersville, is it November and October? I can't remember. Gunnersville that time is really good. And then the last question so far, Tennessee Yak Guy Ethan, are you fishing Watts Bar in 2 weeks? Yes, sir. I love that lake. It's a fun lake. I've done pretty decent there in the past. Hopefully this weather stays kind of warm. If it does, this warming trend, the fish should be biting.
Now, the Watts Bar, that's mostly spots, right?
No, it's a mix. It's a part of it's the upper Tennessee River system. It's right above Chickamauga. Mm-hmm. November. All right. So November, if it's early November, it's good. But it's all Gunnersville's all dependent on the weather in November. If it gets real cold, that bite shuts off. But there you go. He missed November.
Make sure we didn't forget that V.
Yeah.
Well, you want to do like one last question each before we get towards.
So I got my questions are kind of an interesting and a fun one. I've asked a few people this. And I got to ask you, what are you most afraid of?
Just in general or fishing related?
Yeah, or fishing or in general.
Okay, well, I'll do my one in general because when I was a teacher, I'd always share this to the kids because when I tried to get them to understand that public speaking is difficult, I'd explain to them, I'm like, more people are afraid of that than dying. But if my biggest fear is like super. I would say very few people have this. I am absolutely terrified of splinters. It is like the thing I try to avoid the greatest in my life, and that's because I was scarred for life when I was young. I had one so deep in my foot, my whole family had to hold me down to pull that sucker out. Ever since then, I was like just mortified at the thought of getting one. And then I had my absolute nightmare happen last year. I don't know if you know those warning sticks. That are the orange ones that are made out of what's that material? Fiberglass.
Yeah.
I was picking them up out of my grandpa's yard because I watch his house sometimes when he's away, and the snow was finished up. So I'm like, I'll just take them out. Well, one of them had been run over by a car because he puts them up there so people don't drive in his yard. And I grabbed it, and about 5,000 little shards of that fiberglass went in my thumb. It was like for 3 days I was trying to get those things out. I was mortified. I'm like, this is like my worst nightmare. So that's my greatest fear is splinters. I know it sounds really dumb, but I'm such a wuss for that kind of stuff. I think I'd sooner get like a black eye than get a splinter in my toe.
Yeah. Well, mine is this whole episode is get to know your host. This is really going to get to know us. Before that, Mark Chase commented, what is the temp there now? Here in Tennessee, it was 70 degrees today, and I think the low tonight's like 47, 50. So it's really nice right now. I'm going fishing tomorrow. That's why. But anyway, my biggest fear is a frog. I absolutely hate frogs. I'm terrified of them. There is a reasoning behind. So I was like 2-3 years old. And my grandmother, we were at my aunt's pool, and I had this big old, I think it was a frog float, really. And my grandmother was putting me in the float, and I was bawling my eyes out, just screaming and everything. And they didn't know it, but I could see it. There was a big old toad sitting on the side of the float. And I was absolutely terrified. I was bawling, and what did she do? Just kept putting me down. She thought I was afraid of the water or something.
Oh man!
And
I tell you,
since then I've been absolutely terrified of frog.
Nothing scares me more than I'm creek fishing and I'm walking, and a frog just jumps out in front of me and like screams. I think my soul leaves my body. We have those great big bullfrogs by me, and sometimes you just don't know they're there, and you just like that. Or muskrats. I hate muskrats because those you don't even know they're there, and then boom.
Yeah.
Worst, when they're carrying a bunch of stuff in their mouths, they look like a catfish, and then they come crawling up on land, and you're like, "This is it." Like I don't know what the thing is.
I actually got a video. I was down in Kissimmee. Oh, no, not Kissimmee. I was down in, what is it? Harris Chain a couple of years ago, and a frog jumped on my net in the kayak, and I about jumped in the water. I have a video of it. I was sitting there like, and I would have jumped in the water. And you got to think, there's gators in that water. I'd have took gators versus that frog any day.
Oh, man. Well,
Tennessee,
gators are mostly afraid of people, so I mean, you have that going.
Yeah.
Frog doesn't know
that Guntersville tournament we were staying. He's not joking. There was one on the window of an Airbnb in Guntersville, and Ethan was not thrilled. I wouldn't go outside. I would not go outside.
Oh man.
Mark Chase also commented, and then we'll get into your question, and then we'll end it. I hate snakes and public speaking, but now I'm getting better. Starting a YouTube channel this year, so full send.
I assume he's not doing it on snakes, but
I'll tell you what, Mark. I hate the sound of my own voice. I absolutely hated it. But starting my YouTube channel has helped me so much in giving that confidence. So you just stick with it, be consistent uploads, and you'll do well.
All right. So my last question, it's a quick one, but what is your single favorite piece of your single favorite fishing like item? It could be lure, reel, rod, whatever. What is the single thing that if you had to pick out of all your stuff, what it would be?
Wow. I don't know if I can answer that, to be completely honest, because I got so many stuff. I have my kayak rig is set up to the teeth that if I miss something, it changes my whole game.
Yeah.
Probably the best thing I ever bought for the kayak, and I guess I'll answer it with this, is the Newport 180, is my motor. It has changed the way I fish so much. I can go further. I can get there faster. I can cover a ton of water pre-fishing, and it's helped my game.
If I had to pick one, it would be my. I'd probably go with my my favorite fishing rod that I currently own, and that's my Witch Doctor Sandman medium heavy. I bought that last year, and it's the single best piece of fishing equipment I've ever purchased. I mean, just it's so good. The control you have on the big fish with it, it's just incredible. All the Witch Doctor rods that I use are great. A lot of them are a glass and graphite blend, so they're just a little different. And for moving baits, they can't be beat. And some of their lower priced ones are very reasonably priced. The Sandman series is a little more expensive, but the Sermon line, they're both named after some professional bass fishermen. Cole Sands, he's from your neck of the woods. But that's his line of rods, and he basically designed each rod to be what he goes out on the lake with, like what he's taken. Those are the rods, and so it's a cool series because it every single part of bass fishing, and I would say ever since I started buying more expensive rods, I knew what I was missing. That's all I would say. I've used lots of different brands over the years, so I can say without like bias, because I applied to go pro staff with them because I was so impressed with the product, versus like, I'll start using it like just like I don't know what I want, but I'd use so many brands I was so dissatisfied with a lot. But that's what I would say. A close second would be the spinnerbait, but that's for something that's so cheap. I don't know if I can.
Well, I might have to go back on my question a tad bit. And what's up, man? Nice for you to join us. But here we go. Steve, kayak is my favorite piece of equipment. So without a kayak, we all couldn't be fishing. So that's
fair. Yeah,
that might be what we need to do, or what we needed to say. But Mark says
Native Slayer. That's
Mark says Motor Guide XI3 with spot lock. I do miss my XI3 sometimes, but the speed that I get out of the Newport, I don't think I could ever go back. The Garmin Force, I like to look at that as an option, but gosh, it's so expensive. It's like $3,500 or something.
It's crazy the price of some stuff well, this is great. We had a lot of comments. I was so happy with the result for today.
To end it out, I'm just going to go over the Bassmaster Kayak Series. If anybody's been keeping that up, it was just on Kissimmee Chain of Lakes. Your winner is Pennsylvania Ryan Matzlotskis or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how you say that name.
Yeah, that's a Polish name if I ever saw one.
Yeah. And he had a 2-day total of 194 1/4 inches.
Wow.
Big limit. Congrats to him. Thank you for everybody joining in tonight.
Yeah.
If you haven't, go and follow Mr. Fishing Ohio on YouTube and Jett's Fishing Adventures as well. Let's see. Quality Kayak Changes Games by the Ripper himself.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start following him and call him the Ripper.
Yeah, Jack's a good guy. He's coming down with me to Gunnersville, so we're really looking forward to that. So
what event is that again?
The native event.
Okay.
April 18th. Yeah, we're all just going stir crazy up here thinking about it. So
I could never imagine living up there and not being able to fish all the time.
Trust me, I don't know how I do it now.
But anyway, we're in the hour and 4-minute range. Thank you very much for joining in. This is Ethan Jett,
Mr. Fishing Ohio.
Yep, and we will see y'all next week or next podcast. It'll either be in 2 weeks or a month. So be on the lookout on both social medias to figure out when it will be. But thanks for watching. We'll see y'all later.
See ya.